Hi, welcome to your video on simplifying expressions. This is part 2. Your I can statement is I can simplify expressions using the distributive property. Quick review of what the distributive property is. Okay, you are technically multiplying negative 2 times t. And let me try that again. You are multiplying negative 2 times t. And you're going to multiply negative 2 times negative 4. Using your box, that's what you end up seeing here. And you get an answer. Then negative 2 times t is negative 2t. And negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. So there's your answer. The big question for today is how do I simplify expressions using the distributive property? So we're really putting it all together. We're distributing and combining like terms. Here's your first example. 2g plus 3 and then parenthesis times the quantity of g plus 5. So the first thing you need to do is actually distribute. So you need to look at the number and the sign in front. Here I have a positive 3 and a positive 5. So when I make my table, I'm going to keep those things in mind. And I end up with 3g and 15. And that's what I'm going to write, 3g plus 15. And then I drop down what I haven't used, which is the plus 2g. Okay, now I can combine like terms. This is the color coding piece. 2g is like terms with the positive 3g. Remember, circling the number and the sign in front. Positive 2g and positive 3g will give you a 5g. And then we have plus 15, which does not have a like term, so it just stays that. And my final answer is 5g plus 15. Second example is t minus 3 plus 2 times the quantity of t minus 2. So again, we're going to distribute first before we combine like terms. So look at the number and the sign in front. So I have a positive 2, a t, and that second 2 is negative 2. So when I distribute, I end up with 2t minus 4. Drop down what I haven't used, and I'm combining like terms, so I always add in, and then I'm adding in the negative 3 and the t. Now I combine like terms. This t is a 1t, and it is like terms with the positive 2t, which gives me a 3t. And then the negative 3 is like terms with the negative 4. When I add like terms negative 3 and negative 4, I get negative 7. And there's my final answer. Last example here. This one's the trickiest one because you'll be tempted to combine like terms before you distribute, but you can't do that. The trap is to take 18 and minus 6, but you can't do that first. You have to distribute. Take a look at that 6. The sign in front of it is negative, so I'm going to have negative 6, 9k, and then the 13 is also negative. When I distribute, positive 9 times 6 is negative 54k. And then negative 6 times negative 13. Negative times a negative is a positive. And 6 times 13 is 78. So I'm going to rewrite that now. Negative 54k plus 78. And then I'm going to add in what I haven't used yet, which is 18. Now I can combine like terms. The 18 is positive. The 78 is positive, so I can add 78 and 18 together and I get 96. And then I have a negative 54k that does not have like terms. And there is my final answer. Your turn, 3 questions for you. Make sure you distribute before you combine like terms. And then check in with me for your answer when you're done. All right, walking you through the answers. The first one, you distribute first. You get negative 4a minus 12, and then you have a minus 1a at the end. Combining like terms, the negative 4a and the negative 1a make negative 5a, and then minus 12. Star yours if you got it correct. I will be looking for those. Number 2, you need to distribute. Again, that 3 is negative, so negative 3g, and then that 5 is negative, so I distribute, I get positive 15. And then I'm going to add in what I haven't used. And then I can combine like terms. I have a negative 3g and a positive 2g. That will give me a negative 1g, which is just negative 1. And then I have a 2 plus a 15, which gives me positive 17. There's my final answer. Star it if you got it right. Circle it if you got it wrong. And the last one. Distribute again first, and you get 2t plus 4. Add in what you haven't used yet, and then combine like terms. So 2t and t make 3t, and negative 3 and positive 4 make positive 1. 3t plus 1. Star or circle, depending upon how you did. Last thing, here's a challenge question for you. Go ahead and copy it down, give it your best shot. We will go over the answer in class. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.